Hello and welcome back to the Megaverse. I know a video wasn't uploaded last week. That was due to me not recording enough videos. I do apologise. Um, but without further ado, I have got a video for you today, and that is 60 weird laws across the world. So we're just going to jump straight into it.
The world. That's exactly what we're gonna discuss about today, starting from banning chewing gums to paying for desks and chairs at school. Yeah, let's just get right into it. In Singapore, it is illegal to chew gum except for medical purposes, but as this person pointed, it is being ignored by citizens. The fines could go all the way to $2,000, and if you're caught selling it, up to $100,000 or...
Okay, forgive me if I'm wrong, but does that mean that if you have a medical reason for chewing gum or whatever, you need to carry around a letter from the doctors to tell them? So, if you're pulled aside or something, it's just, that one just confuses me.
2 years in prison. In Milano, Italy, there was a legal requirement to smile at all times except during funerals or hospital visits. Yeah, it's clearly not happening anymore.
Why are you going to force someone to smile? Why would you do that?
In Turin, also in Italy, dog owners must walk their dogs at least 3 times a day. What? Why?
3?
Speaking of dogs,
I don't have a dog anymore. She stays... Well, I say I don't. It was my parents' dog. But anyway, the family dog is at my parents' house, and we don't really walk her. She just kind of does her own thing. Sorry, I know I'm moving around a lot. So yeah.
You must pay a tax if you own a dog in Finland. And in Finland, you are also required by law to grow hops if you own a house. Yeah, that's a must.
That's stinging nettles. That's stinging nettles. Why are you gonna... The what? Gotta make sure you've got some dotted leaves around. I've just skipped over the fact that you're meant to pay tax for having a dog. Why are you gonna pay tax for having a dog? What?
In Venice, Italy, it is illegal to feed pigeons. And I've actually seen it myself. And I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I actually broke the law. Yeah, I hope FBI doesn't watch this video. If you don't...
So you're telling me that you're not allowed... That's actually quite a valid one, to be fair, because if you feed them, they're just gonna keep coming back.
Flush the toilet in Singapore, you're gonna be fined $150. With $150, you can buy a lot of stuff, not gonna lie.
What? You meant to flush the toilet after every use.
In Canada, if you have a payment of more than $10, it is illegal to pay with coins. Why? So Canada apparently...
That's valid though, to be fair, because otherwise you're just going to be sifting through silvers, aren't you? To try and find the right amount. Where you could just pay with your bank, or you could pay with like a note. Coins would just be a pain.
Bans climbing on a tree, especially in Toronto and Ottawa. Someone in 2013 climbed a tree and they earned themselves a fine of $365. These Australian laws are just so funny. So it is a...
No, that's fine. I understand that one completely, because at the end of the day, if you, let's say you climbed a tree and you fall, that's on you. So I guess they're just trying to prevent medical mishaps in a way.
Legal to be drunk in a pub. What's the purpose of the pub then? It is illegal to dress up as Batman.
Okay, I don't really understand the pub one, actually. I was going to say I understand it, but I don't, because the whole point of a pub is to get drunk. So if you're banning people, if you're not supposed to get drunk in a pub, that means you're going to drink at home, which then means pubs won't get money.
and Robin. And this is the funniest. If you cannot get to a urinal in time, it is perfectly legal to urinate on your own vehicle's rear left tire. And I was wondering, is it illegal on your right tire then? Because that's the logic.
Or you just wait or use a cubicle. What the hell?
Yes. Okay, let's move on to some random ones. In Samoa, it is illegal to forget your wife's birthday. So if you forget your wife's birthday, the husband is warned at first. But if he's caught again, then...
I understand that, kind of. I don't think it should be a law, but forgetting your wife's birthday, I think personally is just wrong, because your wife, you meant to love and cherish her, and as someone who's grown up with her brother's birthday being literally the day after, so I'm the 26th and he's the 27th, it's very hard. So I'm very glad that I'm with a person that celebrates my birthday, like, for me. Like, he'll take me out for dinner, he will buy me flowers and stuff like, well, I say he will buy me flowers, he buys me flowers whenever he can, but like, this is what I mean. You're supposed to love and cherish your wife, you can't forget her birthday.
He'll definitely spend time in jail. In Bermuda, it is illegal to walk barefoot in public. Don't ask me why. In United Arab Emirates, it is illegal.
The barefoot one, I completely understand that. That is, I think, again, it could also be classed as like a medical thing, because if you're walking around barefoot, you've got a chance of like getting rocks stuck in your feet, or if someone, let's say someone smashed a glass, which is, you know, somewhat common in the UK, then it will be, you know, quite a easy thing, and you would have to go to the doctors and whatnot just to get checked, especially if it's a deep one, because you might end up needing stitches. Sorry, I've got pins and needle in my foot. Do apologise.
Illegal to swear. That's right. Someone last year was actually arrested and was put in jail for 3 weeks for simply swearing at someone. It is illegal to wear a mask in public in Denmark. And no, I don't mean this mask. I mean this mask. The reason is because people want to see themselves at public places, so they just introduced this law, I guess. You cannot turn off your phone's camera sound in South Korea and Japan. So if you buy a phone in the country, you will be unable to turn off the shutter sound. This is the shutter sound. And this was to prevent the hidden camera crisis which hit South Korea. In Argentina, it is illegal to name a child after a fictional or notable character. And yeah, that includes Messi, of course. In India, it is illegal to take Indian currency out of the country. There's a limit of 25,000 Indian rupees you can take while traveling. And if you're caught taking more than that, you're gonna spend time in jail. You are not allowed to take a selfie with Buddha in Sri Lanka. The reason is because you turn your back to him. And actually, in 2014, a British woman was jailed for 3 days for taking a selfie. So be careful. In Germany, it is basically legal to...
Right, let's say you want to take a selfie with with Buddha, and you take it from like the side of it, so your back's not facing Buddha, but it's facing the other way, or you've got the camera angle to a point where your back isn't to it. But that still classes illegal, because if the reasoning is that your back is towards Buddha and then you're taking a photo but your back isn't towards Buddha, like, you know, is it still illegal?
Break out of jail. Yeah, that is true. So escaping from prison is not considered a crime. It is considered as a basic human instinct to be free, so attempting to escape is not punishable by law. Unless if you commit other offenses, such as damage to a property or harming someone during the escape, then obviously, yeah, you're gonna have more security measures. And if you run out of fuel on an autobahn or highway, you can get a fine up to $70 in Germany. So fill your gases before you go to Germany. USA has a lot of weird laws. In Alabama, it is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. So what is the reason of this law? In Iowa, it's against the law to kiss for more than 5 minutes, and it is not allowed for a mustache man to kiss a woman at all. Okay, and not allowed for a mustache man to kiss for more than 5 minutes, and
Iowa.
it is not allowed for.
But isn't Iowa like got a lot of men that have mustaches? Surely that can't be, because what if you've married a man who's got a mustache? Does that then mean you can't kiss him outside? Like you can't kiss him in public for more than 5 minutes when he's your husband? That's no.
For a mustache man to kiss a woman at all. Okay, in Minnesota! It's illegal for a man to make love to his wife if his breath smells like garlic, onions, or sardines. And I wonder, how will police know that? In Missouri, single man between...
That is a good point. How would the police know that? And just brush your teeth. You're meant to brush them every morning and every night anyway, and let's face it, majority of the time, that kind of activity takes place in the morning or the evening, so you would have brushed your teeth.
In the ages of 21 and 50 must pay an annual tax of $1. What? And 50? Police know that. In Missouri, single men between the ages of 21 and 50 must pay an annual tax of $1. What? If you honk...
That's just wrong. But like, let's say you are widowed, because that technically classes you as like somewhat single, because you ain't got a partner. Yes, you're widowed, but you ain't got a physical partner. Does that mean that if a man between the ages of 21 and 50 is widowed, does that mean that then he has to pay $1 because he's, you know, technically single, because he's no longer married, because his partner's dead? Like, what does that mean? And especially a fiance as well, because let's say you're engaged and your fiance dies, because you were never technically married to them. Like, what does that mean? And how are they supposed to know if you're single or not? You could have a girlfriend and they're still charging you for like an annual tax of $1.
your car excessively in New York City, you're gonna have to pay a fine of $350. You are not allowed to tickle a woman in Virginia, and in Massachusetts, a person is not allowed to go to bed without a shower. Again, how will the judge have proof? I guess they will... Okay, I'm not... What the hell? If a Finnish taxi driver plays any music in their car for a paying customer, then they must pay royalties for the musician. Why is Finland full of taxes? In Germany, if you drink and then bike, you can lose your driving license. Now let's see what India has. You need a...
If you drink and then bike, you will lose your driving license. But it's a bike. It's not a car, it's not a van, it's not even a motorbike, it's a cycling bike. Unless by bike they mean like university bike. But even then, like, let's say you've had a drink and then you've gone on a pedal bike. What does that mean then? Are you going to lose your driving license for cycling around?
A license for flying kites in India, and if you're caught, you risk a fine up to 500 Indian rupees. But as your guy said, you risk India has. You need a license for flying kites in India, and if you're caught...
See, I understand it, but then I don't at the same time, because it's a leisure. But to have a license to do it, I understand, because let's say you're flying it and it comes down and it could hit someone, like, you know, that's damage. But on top of that, it's a leisurely activity, so I don't know.
You risk a fine up to 500 Indian rupees. But as your guy said, most of the people ignored this law, but guys, be careful either way. In the state of Maharashtra, particularly in Mumbai, you are not allowed to dance at all in bars. So what's the purpose of the bar then? You guys probably know that a national symbol of Georgia is a chicken. And well, if you steal a chicken in Georgia, you might as well just stay at jail for 10 years. years. That is excessive, but okay. And in fact, there are so many chickens in Georgia, it is illegal for your chicken to cross the road in Georgia. What will happen to the chickens then? Will they get arrested? Probably. Winnie the Pooh is completely illegal in Poland. In fact, if you wear a Winnie Pooh t-shirt, you can get arrested, as Poland issued a ban on Winnie Pooh for... yeah, let's move on. When you get in a village in New Jersey, you must honk when passing a car. So like you pass a car. It is illegal to pee in the ocean in Portugal, but I wonder, how are they gonna check that? It used to be illegal for people in Malawi to fart.
What?
Okay. It is illegal to drive a dirty car in Russia. This law has actually been existing for the past 100 years, and if the police catch you, you risk a fine of 30 euros. It is
I understand the dirt one, because if the car's too dirty, it could possibly affect, like, let's say your windscreen's somewhat dirty as well. That could then affect your driving. So I understand it kind of.
legal to build a sandcastle in Spain. So if you build a sandcastle in Spain, especially in some regions, you could pay a fine up to 1,500 euro. 1,500 euros is the average salary in Moldova for 3 months. And we're gonna end up with North Korea. Oh god, here we go. All men and women can only have one of the 28 government-approved haircuts. 18 for women and 10 for men. Other hairstyles are completely prohibited. The students must pay for their desks and chairs in the class, and school fees don't even cover this. If you fall asleep during a meeting while Kim Jong-un is speaking, you could go to execution. You cannot watch films or music that is from another country. So someone was caught in 2022 watching an American movie, and that person was later executed. You are not allowed to leave North Korea. There is no World Wide Web, and you can't even make international calls. They have access to internet, but there are only 28 websites, and all of them are under government supervision. You can't wear jeans, as they are considered a symbol of capitalism. You can't have the same name as the president. In the elections, there's only one candidate. And finally, every household and public building must display the portraits of the North Korea's boss leaders, which are Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. And if you don't do that, you're gonna be in big trouble. And yeah, oh my god. Thank you guys for watching this crazy video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're doing weekly events in my Discord.
Basically, don't go North Korea. Just don't. Building a sandcastle in Spain is an odd one, because there's beaches there. And at a beach, you always build a sandcastle. You can't go to a beach and not build a sandcastle, because that's just wrong. Well, I guess I'm never going Spain.
Server with money prizes.
Stupid thing. Thank you for joining me in this adventurous little video. It was bizarre, is all I can think of at the minute. It's just no. And I will see you all next time. Bye.